Welcome to the Post with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and this is your one-stop shop for everything sports-related, politics, government-related, and even some neighborhood restaurant picks. Instead of going to 3 different channels, you can come right here every week for the Pulse on everything you need to know. Why don't we start with our picks with Peter B segments? We're joined live in studio by Mr. Eric Cruz and Devin Inholson. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good, we're doing great.
All right, that's good to hear. Great is better than good. I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. So 3 big matchups in this week's NFL schedule. Why don't we start with those 3-2 Los Angeles Chargers heading out to Cleveland. And mind you, the Cleveland Browns have now won the same amount of games this season and matched the same amount of wins, I should say, this season as they've had the last 2 years in the NFL. Eric, what's your take on this game?
Well, this game to me is going to be one of the better matchups of the week. I like the fact that the LA Chargers are going to Cleveland with a high-powered offense. They have a bunch of great receivers. They have 2 running backs that run and catch the ball well out of the backfield. But they're going to go up against one of the stingiest defenses, and it's funny because it is the Browns, one of the stingiest defenses in the NFL. I like the matchup for the Browns in this week because they have proven this season against high-powered offenses that they can stop teams, and not only that, they don't turn the ball over, and they play a very well field position game. I like the Cleveland Browns in this game, and listen, if the Browns win this game, funny fact, if they win this game, this will be the first time they're above 500 for the first time since Week 6 of 2014. So 2014. I think the Browns got enough power. I like Baker Mayfield. I'm going with the Browns.
All right. You threw me off a little bit because you said the high-powered offenses. The thing is this, they haven't really slowed up too many guys. I mean, they've done well, but the Raiders put up 565 against them in Oakland. I understand that long travel is something that's serious, but again, they have the 2nd most pass touchdowns, the Chargers. They're 8th in points scored. They're 7th in yards per game. This is going to be a test for the Browns defense. But what I want to see is Baker. I had this thing, if you were around me around the April draft, Eric, we were together for the draft, and I was saying, oh, why did we go with Baker on this pick? Not that I'm a Browns fan, but I'm thinking, I want to see Baker turn around an offense right now that is ranked 28th in third down percentage, and you need to win games by converting on third down. They're 31st in completion percentage, and they're 30th in QB rating. You know, they're going against the Chargers defense's 28th in QB rating, so I like to see them. I think it's a good matchup for them to get their offense going, and I think it's a game where they can not have their way, but a game where they can definitely move the ball more, and they need to make plays for Baker. They need to catch the ball for him.
All right.
They didn't catch the ball enough for him last game.
Well, why don't we get right into our second game here?
Okay.
We have the Indianapolis Colts visiting those high-flying New York Jets right now, who we both know dominated last week against those Denver Broncos. I mean, I heard the Broncos fans in the MetLife Stadium in the first quarter were having, a good time, and then not so much in the final 3 quarters, if you know what I'm saying. Right. What's your take and analysis, Eric?
Well, to me, the Jets have to continue what they started in Denver. I think stretching the ball down the field with Sam Darnold and getting Robbie Anderson involved in the offense was great for them. They need to run the ball effectively the way they just did last weekend. And for me in this game, it's really going to come down to who is the more disciplined team on defense. I like the Jets. The Jets had a tough one in Jacksonville, and they came back and played better against Denver. If they continue to play good defense throughout this week against Indianapolis and make some plays, Sam Darnold is going to get the ball downfield. I like Isaiah Crowell against this defense. I got the Jets at home beating Indianapolis.
Jets getting back to 500, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's really it's cut and dry. When they run the ball, they win the game. They did it against the Lions. They did it last week against the Broncos. Crowell was having a nice resurgence. In fact, he might get his first 1,000-yard season. He was looking for with the Browns previously. But to me, the key is this: the offense of the Colts isn't explosive. They have the best third down offense, but it's because they're not really converting on first and second. I want to see if Baker, I'm still talking about Baker. If Sam Darnold can complete the ball, because it's 30th in completion percentage going against the 30th ranked defense in completion percentage. It's a good game. I think Darnold could have a breakout game in this game. Believe it or not. And I like the Jets.
We covered 2 rookie quarterbacks here. We covered, of course, Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold of the Jets. Who do you think's having the better season so far? Difficult to tell, right? Because I know Baker came in
It's
late.
small sample size. It's small sample size.
I feel like Sam Darnold's got a little bit more of the reign, the key to the car,
right,
with the Jets than Baker does with the Browns. I think they're still a little conservative with him.
I like long term. I like Darnold. I think he's having a good season so far.
Darnold's having a good season. All right, we're gonna get to our third and final matchup because it is an absolute monster matchup, as you know. This is as big as it gets. Sunday Night Football. Those undefeated Kansas City Chiefs going up to Foxborough to, of course, play the Brady Belichick regime in New England.
Same story, right?
Yeah, same story, exactly. Chiefs, Patriots. I got to have your take right now.
I like the Chiefs in this game, even though the 2 times that I've picked against Tom Brady, he's completely destroyed me. I do like Kansas City.
Mistakes, Eric, it's not too much on the pulse.
I just keep making the same one by picking against Tom Brady.
Exactly.
But I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, and this is going to be more of a scheme type of game. This is going to be, if you're a real football fan, you're going to really have to see what the Patriots are doing on the defensive side of the ball. I think they need to keep Pat Mahomes in the pocket. He's dynamic when he's not in the pocket or when he's in, but he's a little bit more dynamic when he's on the run. I like what the Chiefs are doing. They have a lot of juice going into this game. The Patriots at home is going to be a crazy crowd. Tom Brady, obviously, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think they're going to pull it off and move on to 6-0.
You got the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I'm going to go flip side. I'm going to go with the Patriots. This is the point of the
Not shocking. Is that shocking?
I got to go against them. But here's the reason. Week 6, well, the last 11 seasons in Week 6, the Patriots are 9-2. That means that they turn around at this point of the year. Again, we always worry about the Patriots, the first 4 games, and their defense, this, that, and the other thing. But they're 10th in QB rating, they're 3rd in pass yards per game given up to a quarterback per play. So I'm not going to assume that the Patriots are just going to let Mahomes throw all over them. Mm-hmm. I really believe that the Patriots are going to be able to have, not their way, but they have so many weapons that the Chiefs, historically, they're reaching heights that they don't want to reach as far as they're giving up the most yards per game. They're 31st in yards, pass yards per game given up. But I think if the Chiefs have any shot to win this game, it would be have to get Kareem Hunt going, and it has to be their 3rd down defense is 2nd in the league, believe it or not, amongst all the chaos that's going on there. But I like the Patriots to be able to contain Mahomes, like you said, keep him in the pocket if they can. And Justin Houston not playing the edge rusher, pass rusher for the Chiefs is going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think.
We have literally 15 seconds, and I'm going to put your backs against the brick wall right here. Chiefs win this weekend. They going undefeated for the season?
No way.
No way.
No way.
It's too difficult.
No way.
It's too difficult.
I don't know. This is a big test up in Foxborough.
Yeah,
they're not complete. They're not complete.
They're not complete.
The defense is not going to be might be the Achilles heel.
It's always hard to win the NFL.
We're going to come back to this show, and we're going to put your backs against the wall if they do go undefeated. All right. That's Eric Cruz. That's Devin and Holson. Those are our NFL insiders every week here on the Pulse of Peter B. You can see them here. They're going to be breaking down the 3 biggest matchups on the NFL schedule. When we come back, Mr. Josh Sotomayor Einstein is back for our Politics with Peter B segment. We'll be back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and welcome to our Politics with Peter B segment. We're joined live in studio by our political analyst, Joshua Sotomayor Einstein. I just love saying your middle name, Sotomayor Einstein.
I love it too. Thank you.
Oh, that's good to hear. So last week we discussed the Washington Street redesign. And we spoke about the water mains, we spoke about the corners, but obviously we spoke very, very little about how businesses were being affected by this. And if you walk up and down Washington Street and you see a number of businesses that are closed right now, a number, and I have no clue what that number is because I literally lost count.
Well,
what would you say the number would be?
There's a lot of empty storefronts in town. On my block alone, just on my side of the block, on the west side of the street on the avenue, there's 5 or 6 empty storefronts. Some are regularly empty. In the entire 11 years that I've lived in town, there'll be a store there for a year, and then it'll go the way of the dinosaurs. Particularly Urban Chicken, which was very, very good. It was only there for like a year and a half.
Right. So
and
if there's 5 to 6
that storefront is empty again. On the rest of the avenue, I'd say between 30 or 40 empty
and that's just the avenue, correct? I mean, this is not including the other businesses located off the main thoroughfare. So do you think that just the rent is too high? Do you think, what is it?
Well, a lot of people like the hamburger joint Five Guys. I think Grubs is better. Nothing bad about Five Guys. But
listen, our reviews is for the third segment.
True. I'll leave that for the next segment. But the scuttlebutt on the street was that their rent was going up to $29,000 a month. So just before paying their employees, before the cost of supplies, before electricity and gas, just to put the key in and turn it and open the door was $1,000 a day almost. And that's very hard for an entrepreneur or a franchise owner to come up with that kind of cheddar.
So it's funny, an old good friend of mine, former First Ward Councilwoman Teresa Castellano, who I admire so much, she told me one time, we were both running for city council one year, that realtors love when businesses close down. And who donates to politicians but realtors? Because realtors make money, obviously, every time a store is closing or a store opens up, they make their broker fee and things like that. And if you think about it, realtor offices in Hoboken are certainly not lacking. They're actually expanding. I mean, a lot of these realtors, if you look at Liberty Realty and others, have multiple locations in all of Hudson County now. I mean, just what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that there's some sort of like collusion going on there, or? So
I don't want to pick on any particular industry because I do believe that there's nothing wrong with people trying to earn a living. Whether it's by starting a business or working for somebody else or being a real estate agent, people are just trying to pay their bills, and if they have a family, pay the family's bills and raise children and whatnot. But I will say that it's the policies that come out of City Hall that make the already difficult life of the entrepreneur and the small business owner that much harder. I was talking to a store on the avenue a couple of days ago. I went in there to get a gift for a friend that I hadn't seen in a while, really for his kids rather. And I was talking to the manager of the store, and we were talking about different businesses that used to be on the avenue. And he was talking about the arbitrary nature of, for example, or this is actually what he said about the recycling. How every other store puts out their recycling. They break down the boxes and they keep one box intact and they put them in there. But his store gets fined for doing that because you're supposed to break down every single box, and it happens to him all the time, and he sees other people, and it doesn't happen.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Hold on. It's the arbitrary nature of the rules that are coming out from City Hall, and it also goes back to our zoning office. I've known, business owners in town that have closed up shop because the edicts coming out of the zoning office, change every couple of months.
But would you say that the zoning office is just following policy? Look, the city council obviously sets ordinances that the zoning office has to follow, correct? And then going back, how much of this actually comes from the state? Because I know we were talking about the plastic bag ban last week. I mean, and we both agreed that probably would hurt small businesses. But how much of this gets trickled down?
The fact that certain businesses on the avenue and other places in town that were grandfathered in from before Hoboken said no more neon signs in the window, but they were allowed to because they grandfathered in. The fact that those businesses were told that's not the original neon sign, you're not allowed to have that. That's not from that's not from the city council. That's not from the state. You can't pawn that off. That is somebody in the zoning office deciding that they want to have it their way, or they woke up and they had a bad day that day and trying to take it out on somebody.
That is interesting.
You can't, there's certain things like it was a couple years ago where there was that haircut place on the south side of town, Sheer Madness, that had one of those giant, really tall, feather-shaped flags that apparently the city of Hoboken thinks is extremely dangerous. It wasn't even on the sidewalk. It was attached to his property as part of his lease. And the city went after him for fines. And they were in court for years and arbitration for years. And they wanted him to pay 80 grand. And then they tried to seem like they were being compromising and they were willing to meet him halfway. So they said, oh, we'll only make you pay 40 grand. At the end of the day, the mediator ruled in his favor because it's ridiculous.
We know the public is craving new businesses in town, whether that's a specific type of business, not to get into any type of specifics or things like that. So it's difficult, according to what you just said, for businesses to obviously come into town with all of these rules and regulations and things like that. Can the public do anything? Can they go up to their local elected officials, their council people and things like that, and ask them, to revisit the zoning laws and things like that? What can the public do so they can make Hoboken their Hoboken with their type of businesses really quickly?
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that the Bala administration initially said that it was considering was having some sort of night mayor, someone to be a liaison between not just the bars and the bar restaurants, but the business community, the small business community.
But that never came to fruition, correct?
No, it hasn't.
And I do remember that specifically, correct.
And so if the public wants to put pressure on this issue, and everyone has busy lives, right? But if they want to put any of their precious time on the issue, I would say we need to pressure the Bala administration to create a business liaison, a de facto, quote unquote, night mayor, as many other cities have done.
And do you think the Chamber of Commerce can get involved?
I think the Chamber of Commerce is an organization that exists, but let's be frank.
Well, you want to talk about a vague answer? There it is, folks.
I mean, they're a neutered dog, so. I mean, I may alienate some people by saying that, but I'm always going to call it like I see it.
Well, okay, great. Well, look, I mean, it's certainly, it's almost sad to see when you're walking down Washington Street, all of these businesses shut down. When just a few years ago, Washington Street was always booming. Yeah, you had turnover, but not as much turnover as you would hope. And for a person,
listen, the city just unrolled that we're going to have metered parking everywhere in town.
Right, and we're going to get to that topic.
It's like we're telling people, don't come to our stores, don't visit.
We're going to get to that topic on a future episode because we have to go to commercial break. We'll be back with My Rana and our Places with Peter B segments.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, Retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Pen & Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen & Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Welcome back to the show, everyone, and we like to end with something always fun on the Pulse with Peter B, and that's our Places with Peter B segments. And we're joined live in studio by Miss Mai Rana.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I am good. I'm also hungry. It's dinner
You're
time.
hungry. It is dinner time, certainly is. We wish you could have probably picked something up on the way in, or somebody should have.
Next time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I like that. So, by the way, you're of mygoodies.com. That's MAIgoodies.com. She is our resident foodie here every week on the show. And this week, we're going to be discussing La Taqueria,
Yes.
which is located at 354 Grove Street in downtown Jersey City. Now, Mai, I feel like we spoke about Razza Pizzeria in our pilot episode, and I feel like Mexican is very similar to Italian, meaning that there's a lot of Mexican places opening up, and a lot of them don't seem to be as authentic as it comes. But I have to tell you, I researched La Taqueria, and I've been there before, and I'm pretty sure that's as authentic as it comes. So would you agree?
I definitely agree. I mean, I haven't heard one person say that they don't like taqueria, whether they love Mexican food or they don't. And I think that people always have great things to say about them. Their menu goes straight to the point. On the back of it says no substitutions, none of that phony stuff, right? They don't have like strawberry margaritas. They don't have any of the stuff that you would typically get at a Mexican restaurant. They go straight to the point. Their flavors are super simple, and people love them. The reviews show for it.
And would you agree that I think sometimes people try to overcomplicate Mexican food? I think that it's a very, very simple cuisine, in my opinion. I mean, and would you agree that La Taqueria just keeps it as simple as possible?
I think so. I mean, they have a lot to choose from in terms of their tacos, from the typical pork tacos to even a cactus taco.
Cactus taco? What's in that?
Yeah.
Come on, you have to explain.
I actually don't experiment too crazy when it comes to Mexican food. I love like my fish tacos, so I haven't tried that one just yet. But I always see it on the menu and people do try it out, so I'm not too sure what's in the cactus taco.
And in the fish tacos, I'm guessing mahi, all that good stuff?
Yep, breaded with a small wedge of lime, some simple seasoning, but it's so good. Like you could tell everything is homemade for real.
That's just unbelievable. So now, I have to tell you, one of the things that people judge first when they go into a Mexican restaurant, I don't care what Mexican restaurant you're going into, is the chips and salsa.
Yes.
I mean, because that's the first thing you receive, and people have, I feel, so many opinions on chips. I mean, they were too salty, they were too limey, if that's even a word, they were, too stale, which is, of course, a word, and if that's the case, you should just not go back there.
Right.
Tell me, chips and salsa at La Taqueria.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. You see people asking for more chips, like once they finish their bowl, like throughout the entire dinner, and you have to get the guacamole.
And you have to get the guacamole, huh? Yeah. And I'm guessing the chips are homemade.
Yes,
assuming?
absolutely.
They are, okay.
Yes.
And the salsa, I'm guessing, is made in-house as well. So I'm actually a really, really big fan of spicy salsa.
Okay.
Are you as well? Or?
I can only take a little bit, but theirs is particularly gives it a nice kick. But pretty much anybody can eat it, but it's not too hot.
It's not too hot?
No.
So is that like the spiciest one they had that you had?
If you're looking for spicy, go for their steak taco. That is going to have you drinking lots of water.
Okay. Well, exactly.
Or a beer,
really
whatever your preference is.
And they serve alcohol there, I'm assuming?
Absolutely. They have fantastic margaritas.
And just I always like to try to explain the ambiance of this place. I mean, literally, you walk into like a basement, correct?
Yes.
And there is waiter and waitress service. Am I wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. And literally, when you walk in the basement, basement, it's almost like a blast from the past. I mean,
Yes, it's like someone's like old school basement. There's like posters, there's an old school movie on there. Like sometimes I'll watch like Back to the Future on like their big screen. So it's such a fun environment.
Really, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Somebody I was talking to. I think it was somebody at my day job actually.
Yeah.
Which people say I shouldn't quit. But somebody at my day job was telling me, oh my God, it's like a really hip place.
Yeah.
Now there's nothing more hip than downtown Jersey City. We all know that. I mean, maybe Hoboken. But
maybe.
Exactly.
Keyword maybe.
Exactly. But you know, I guess we spoke about the ambiance, but I guess what makes it hip is that it is kind of in like a cellar, and there's like all these cool paintings on the wall and things like that, and I guess it's just probably part of the neighborhood, correct?
Yeah, I honestly think it's because nothing has changed since they've opened since 2005, right? They closed down for a little bit during when we had the hurricane, and they had to do some renovations, but once it was back up and running, the place was busy. I ate there last night.
Did you? And I got to ask you, what you have? Come on.
I
want specifics too. Let's go.
I had the steak taco, the fish taco, the chorizo. Yes.
All right.
I could only finish half. I had my boyfriend finish the other half, but still delicious. You know, regardless, we had to order it.
Yeah, you had to order.
Yeah.
Now, you can get as many tacos as you want, I'm assuming, 2 to 3 tacos per order?
There's one per order. So,
one per order?
Yes, so it's one per order. It is about $3 to $3.50 in price range, so it is a little pricey, but the size is worth the price.
So the size is worth, and it's always amazing. And then of course you had some cervezas, I'm guessing, cervezas.
I actually had a margarita. It was one of those days, yeah.
It was one of those days, yeah. Long day at work, you go into La Taqueria, have a margarita and things like that. So their hours are 11 a.m. to 10:45 every day.
Yes.
Which is pretty decent hours. What would you say? First, I would add, I guess my first question is, how long would you think that you would spend there? About an hour? How long did you spend there last night? Let's just say.
I would say because their menu is so simple that you already go straight into what you want to order, and maybe 45 minutes to an hour if you're with a smaller group, 2 people, and then with larger groups, maybe up to an hour and a half.
And I'm assuming you could take takeout. There's obviously waiter and waitress.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
No.
I don't think it's the same when you take it out.
That is interesting because there are some pizzerias, and let me know if you agree with me.
Yeah.
Pizzerias, and they shall remain nameless, that when the pizza hits the box, they say that it just doesn't taste the same as if you're eating it there. I mean, would you agree with the?
Honestly, I do agree. It gets cooked when it's covered, and if it doesn't have like that circulation, the food can get really soggy and nobody wants to eat that.
It's Mexican food, obviously. There's salsa and things like that, and all that good stuff. Okay, so other Mexican places in the neighborhood. How would you compare La Taqueria to any type? And I know there's a few holes in the wall in downtown Jersey City because I've seen them, but any type of comparison you have?
There's actually another taqueria that's not too far from there, and then there's Orle right down the block by the PATH train. But honestly, I've always seen taqueria packed.
Busy.
Even the back area, if you want to sit outside, there's seating out there. So it kind of like caters to everybody.
It caters to everybody.
Yeah.
Now, last night, was it busy last night?
Oh, yeah.
It's crowded all the time, I'm guessing, right? Maybe not at 11 a.m. No. Best time to go is at 11 a.m., you think?
I mean, maybe there's schools around there, so people, and there's businesses, so people definitely go there for lunch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can only imagine. I mean, and I'm sure the weekends, just going in and out of there, it's probably like a revolving door.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can expect to wait. Yep.
And you know, because it's been a few years that I've been there. Is it a large space?
No.
I mean, it's not a large space.
Tiny space.
Maximum capacity 50, 60?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, I'm
not a lot
I'm
of
making
people.
you a fire code official today too, apparently. So
yeah.
I mean, whatever works. Well, look, Mai, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
That is La Taqueria, which is located at 354 Grove Street in downtown Jersey City.
Yes.
Get over there, eat the tacos, eat the spice, eat whatever you need. Mai is joining us every week. She'll have another food review for us next week on the Places with Peter B segment. And we're just about out of time. So, and by the way, her website again is maigoodies.com.
Yes.
So we hope that you come back next week on the Pulse with Peter B for your sports picks. We got your politics and government chatter, we'll call it. And then, of course, we have our food reviews. Join us next week. Have a great night, everyone.